Welcome to TICE TV. Today I have with me Mr. Ramanathan RV. He is the CEO and co-founder of Hyperface, and he is also the co-founder of Juspay. So he is a serial entrepreneur, and today while we are already discussing AI and its role in enterprise success, so let's understand from him how he used AI and how AI is really changing his business and the overall industry. Welcome, Mr. Ramanathan.
Hi.
Can you quickly tell me about your both your startups?
Juspay is into payment processing and removing friction at the time of checkout. A lot of work actually happens uh, for customers when actually they try to check out at a place like, say, a Swiggy or a Flipkart, right? How do you optimize that and ensure that the user experience is really good, right? That is the challenge that Juspay solves, and Juspay plays a big role in UPI as well. UPI processing at scale is today Juspay is one of the very few companies that actually does this at scale in a way that is very performant and scalable, which is the biggest challenge in making sure that UPI is successful. Right now, what Hyperface does is we actually wanted to solve the problem of credit cards. We wanted to digitize credit cards, and to that end, we've partnered with banks, and we try to digitize the end-to-end journey for credit cards. Right, the bet has always been on digital payments growing to every nook and corner of the country. With the growth of e-commerce and other services that today is being every citizen in the country is almost hooked to the services today, right? And how do we get payments and financial services to them, right? That's a fundamental challenge that we've taken up at both the companies, right? And so far we've come quite a long way.
So can you give me a brief about it? Like how do you really made it from scratches to SoftBank? What how has been the journey?
It's been nothing short of magical. When we had started the company, me and Vimal, we didn't actually think that the outcome would be this big, right? But what happened is that the market presented more opportunities, right? I think it's a very organic evolution for us. We got lucky by being at the right place at the right time. We bet on digital commerce, which grew significantly in a very accelerated manner. Right, we see tons of unicorns in like the likes of Ola, Swiggy, Zomato. Right, that's been created in the past decade. Right, but digital payments is a common denominator for all of these unicorns. Right, and which is where Juspay comes in. And I would say that the growth of the ecosystem, the valuation that we have gotten is simply a function of that. Right, and getting money, getting backing from a fund, from an investment firm like SoftBank is a validation that the technology that Juspay has built is great, not only for domestic but also for the international market, right? So that's been great, and like I said, we never anticipated that the outcome would be so large.
Payment is something which is very crucial, and people are always very suspicious about payments and their transactions. So how do you really ensure that while using AI, that their security and the risk factors are really balanced?
Yeah, look, a lot of times, right, what we do does not even get termed correctly. For instance, the term fintech was not prevalent 15 years ago when we were actually doing fintech, right? Many problems that we solve today, we just solve through our understanding of fundamentals, right? And sometimes it so happens that, look, you've got this algorithm which actually implements a probabilistic decision making, which in itself is, if you see, it's an intelligence, it's a level of intelligence, right? It is not a standard way of doing things, but a very algorithmic driven, and possibly with different folks along the road, right? So even without a boxing or naming that, okay, this is ML and this is AI, there's been a lot of problems that we solved which actually fit into that category, right? The biggest problems in today, if you see, with digitization, is that it opens up a big opportunity even for the bad actors to enter into the system, right? Because digitization gets blindsided by certain things. We're always very eager to implement the happy path. We forget some of these problems that they even exist, and once they become big, then now we have to solve. So the first order use cases that ML will actually solve would be the anti-fraud, both at a customer level and at a transaction level, and anti-money laundering, right? Risk management. These are the first order problems that we will be solving. The second order problems that in fact we are solving at Hyperface is what is the best nudge to give to the customer at this point in time? What can you do as an upsell to the customer? What can you do as a cross sell for the customer where it would make sense, right? It is not a blind calling of the customer and then saying, hey, you're eligible for a personal loan, would you want it, right? But having a basic understanding that, okay, this customer probably wants a personal loan at this time, and then showing the relevant nudge to the customer, right? It could be a loan, it could be a travel card, it could be an insurance, it doesn't matter, right? Understanding, okay, where is the customer today, and what is it that they might need, and then showing the relevant nudges, the offers, right? I think this is a big problem today which needs to be solved, but I'm actually stoked about the possibilities of what this will open up in a big way. For instance, let's say, think about, look, your spend in the past has been like this, and let's say 6 months from now your spend is going to grow this much, right? But you have this big expense coming up. Are you actually ready to balance these two? Right now, a question posed by a differential engine, by an artificial intelligence algorithm, right, will actually take it to a next level. But are we there yet? No, we're not there yet. Those algorithms, we don't even have the expertise to build these kind of algorithms. So I'm stoked about what can be possible, but I'm already excited about what is today possible itself.
Okay, so with this, can you also highlight how AI has really changed fintech, and like what is going to be the future?
Right. AI has not yet changed fintech. I don't think it will change fintech for a considerable amount of time. The second order effects of this will take time to kick in, and but it opens up a huge opportunity, right? Both on the, in fact, on the, I would say that on the administrative side, it opens up a big opportunity already, which is in fact not yet prevalent today, right? Whereas on the consumer side, for it to actually kick in, it will take a few years. I don't think we are there with mature models yet.
At the same time, like, you are standing at that point where you can be a unicorn sooner, but you are not a unicorn right now. So do you think that there is a sort of pressure on startups to really become a unicorn, or to really achieve that valuation? Like, is there a pressure?
I think the social pressure is definitely real, but it actually is also a test of the individual character, right? To not get swayed by these imaginary numbers. It what really means to us, at least when we had started Juspay, right? A chance to actually build a payment system from the ground up, right? And today UPI is a crowning achievement for India, right? And being a big part of it is itself enough to drive us, motivate us to build something even more awesome, right? And that is a privilege, right? I think unicorn is a function of how the funding community sees you, but that is pretty much not in our control. So it doesn't make sense for us to worry a lot about it, right? Of course, it's a worry in the back of the mind. Probably it's the 30th or the 40th thing to think about, but there are so many other things that would
So
keep us
is
moving.
it valuation or values for you? Like, what is the priority?
See, it is both. Okay, it would not be right if I say that valuation doesn't matter. The size of the company matters because your ability to innovate, your ability to invest in R&D is a function of that, right? In the absence of funding, ability to attract talent actually goes away, right? Then the second problem is that large companies based out of the US, which has a significantly large market, can come in and take over smaller companies, right? So valuations do matter, right? But they shouldn't. It shouldn't be the only thing that matters. That's the problem, right? So we put values first, but valuation is definitely something that we work towards.